Hello, everyone. Welcome to another fantasy match preview. This is for the finals of the 100, and I have two people with me who are branded as crazy in many ways. Today, we'll brand out the crick crazy side of the both of them, Johns and Nikhil Bhai. Welcome to the both of you, and let's hope we have a great preview today.
Yes. Please welcome our chief guest, Mr. Johns. Please, a word of welcome from you, sir.
First of all, thanks a lot for inviting me. I'm really looking forward to the chat, and especially me and Neil has done lots of videos as well during last IPL. There were lots of previews and reviews as well, so really looking forward to the chat.
Right, I've had to have a lot of convincing to have Johns here, and we are happy that we are able to do it for a tournament like the 100, which is coming to a big end. And I know that while one man is very happy to be here, there's another man who is very sad that this tournament is ending. So, Nikhil Bhai will give you his views about how this tournament has gone for him.
Yeah, because see, when we all grew up, we used to play toys with our eyes closed. This 100 was exactly like that. The games were happening where they will happen like somebody's putting random buttons random anywhere. People are going, people are coming, people are scoring runs out of nowhere and then not scoring at all. Be it Sam Billings, Morgan. So yeah, great tournament, great for leaderboard contest. I'm sure those who are ranking higher in the contest, they are not going to complain, and hope they should never, because that's you get those rewards when you take those risks. But yes, for today at least, glad that this tournament is coming to an end.
Fair enough. I guess that is a united view as far as fantasy for this tournament is concerned. And that brings us to the first part where we will discuss the ground dimensions. This final is going to be played at Lords. And sadly, while the home team will not be part of it, like we've been speaking about Lords, two important points. One is that square boundaries are very short, but on the other end, you have to really take a look at the pitch report when it comes in, because if the pitch is slow or is going to help spin in any way, it would also mean that the square boundaries would be a temptation for a batter to play a rash shot. Any views on that, and how do you guys see the pitch playing out today?
Yeah, Jones, please enlighten us with more pitch report information. How do you feel about that? Please be very honest.
I think, yeah, as he mentioned, there will be high score match. I believe it has been a good time period to prepare a good pitch as well, and everyone knows it will be a final, so they'll be looking for that. And there will be slope factor as well. Left arm seamers might get good surge in this pitch, and Trent Rocket has two of them. Luke Wood has been in great form. We all know he has been picked by the England squad for the Pakistan too, so he'll be looking to make a big impact as well before going to Pakistan. Then there will be Daniel Sams as well. So there will be two left arm paces for them. That might give an extra advantage, especially if they are looking to bowl first. And I believe captains will be looking to bowl first as well, even though it is a final. Batting first might be good in most ways, but still, there has been a gap, so we might see high scoring, and it will be better to chase as well to know the pitch conditions, and some of the major misses are there as well that we will discuss later. So I believe batting second will be an edge in this pitch in this final.
Right, absolutely. And especially in a final, it can go both ways. Either when you're batting first, you want a score on the board to get the pressure out of the way, or when you're chasing, you have that whole calmness that you know what you need to get in the final. So, Nikhil bhai, anything from you in terms of the pitch, or you feel like we are covered and set to go to the team?
Yeah, I think it's one interesting bit that how a lot of the times we keep hearing that cricket is a mental game, and we'll see that today as well. That
Hmm.
at Lords teams have found it harder to chase, but when it comes to knockouts, people are happy to bat first because they feel that gives them the best opportunity. So
Right.
I'm very interested to see how the two teams are thinking.
Hmm.
One will definitely want to chase, one might want to bat first and go it like that. If London Spirits were playing, I would have been very sure that they would have wanted to bat first, because that's what
Hmm.
they've been doing, and they did not win yesterday because it felt like a very good deck. And yes, yesterday reminds me of having some great picks. Hopefully, we continue that good run. And yeah, let's see how the match goes.
Right, absolutely. So that brings us to the base team then for this game. And we start off with the keeping section. Now, I guess there's only one obvious pick from you and Phil Salt because Tom Kohler Cadmo has been in sort of up and down form, and so has Tom Moores. So, any differential here, or it's just the straight to the next section?
No, I
Yeah,
think
I think
Phil Salt will be better.
yeah. I think field salt will
Right.
what most guys will definitely have in their sides.
Hmm.
Uh, with TKC, what we'll have to take into account is whether you are expecting new ball wickets and
Hmm.
how early are you expecting them. The thing with Rockets is at times both Hales and Malan have played a considerable amount of time. So then TKC
Hmm.
just comes in and plays shots every ball. Then that makes it reduces his fantasy value. But if it comes off even for a 15 ball 30 or 35, it covers up. An example would be yesterday, I did not have Fakar Zaman in my team, but I had
Hmm.
Khusdil Shah. And he gave almost the same number of points despite scoring 20 runs less because he
Right.
scored them at a very high rate and he took a few catches. So I think that is how you have to figure out with such players. And TKC he's had a decent record. I think in
Hmm.
4 games he's averaging 44, strike rate of 141. So decent numbers, but I would not risk him in small league. Maybe yeah, in grand leagues you can definitely try more.
Right, fair enough. So that brings us to batting section, and here we have Alex Hales and the birthday boy David Malan who'll slot in straight away. And a temptation on a third batter here, or are we going to fully exploit the fan to play feature where we can go with just two batters?
Uh, I think Munro would be a great pick for me. I
Hmm.
just feel come the big day, Munro, finds a way to step up.
Hmm.
Very big game for Alex Hales because with Bairstow out, England have to rejig their T20 plans, and he will be very desperate to get a finish of a good campaign. So I think he'll be extra motivated to come good. And yes, David Malan, birthday boy. Sometimes logic data doesn't work in 100. Maybe the birthday thing will work for David Malan and Trent Rockets. So I think yes, those two. Samit Patel could be a not Samit Patel. Colin Munro could be a very handy player to try out in multiple combinations.
Right. Any third batter from
Yes,
you, John?
and I think Kolimundra has done in big matches as well. He used to score at a brisk rate in the middle phase as well. So even he has done in few leagues like CPL or in the pressure situation, he has bailed out the team. So Munro can be a deciding factor as well in some of the leagues.
Yep.
Right. So both of them are ready to go with Monroe. So my third batter opinion stands null and void for now. And we're on to the all-rounder section. And I guess Samit Patel and Daniel Sams, if bowling first, can be crucial along with Paul Walter. Any other choices here? Do we go with Stubbs because he didn't bowl in the last game, or do you guys feel like he's going to get dismissed early against someone like Samit?
I think with Stubbs, the bit is whether he'll bowl to Malan and Munro.
Hmm.
If he does, he becomes a very good pick to take. He can go for runs, but eventually, if he picks up two, his job is done. And
Hmm.
the thing with guys like Stubbs is they come in and they go for boundaries. So whatever little, same with TKC, right? Whatever little they do, they are going to make some impact. Now,
Right.
because he's going to bat and bowl both, I think
Hmm.
somebody like him and Walter are very good candidates to really have a good time if they are used well. Walter yesterday as well, we were not sure of his bowling fitness, but he
Hmm.
bowled and he took 3 wickets. So I think it is best to go first with the guys who are doing well consistently. And here is where I feel they could we can pick between Samit and Sam's eventually if it comes down to that,
Hmm.
because sometimes they hold Samit back if they have enough left-handers. Now I don't think Manchester have that luxury, and Corey Evans came good yesterday, so he could potentially even open the bowling. You don't know about that. And Daniel Sams, they promoted him in one of the recent games. So then it becomes very difficult to drop an all-rounder. So if you think Munro will make a more impact, see the
Hmm.
deciding factor in this game will be where Munro bats. Whenever they've got a great start, they've pushed Munro down. So that
Right.
is the visualization where you have to take a call that okay, if you think one of the openers will go early, you take both
Hmm.
Munro and Sam. If you feel no, Munro may not get to bat, then you drop Munro and take an extra all rounder. So I think That is a call that you have to take, because rest of the players everybody will have. It is those differential picks today that might make the difference.
Right, fair enough. So because we are currently backing Munro and Sams, it might not make sense for us to go with Stubbs.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, we'll move to the bowler section. And here we have Luke Wood, like whom Johns mentioned, can have
Yeah.
some great impact, especially with the slope. And I guess Joshua Little sits in a similar category with his bowling style. Now, who makes your final two bowlers here, or does it mean that for balance you go with that all rounder? And I'm going to cut you both for a second here, because talking about birthdays, we have the man who's the brand
Oh,
ambassador of birthdays on the channel. Welcome, Piyush Bhai. I'm waiting to have you on this side of the discussion soon.
yes. I think those who don't know, please go out and check out a thread that Piyush sir has made for the list of performances that have come through on people's birthdays, occasion, their friends' birthdays, anybody in the vicinity who's had their birthdays, they've come off. So please do check that out. And yes, coming back to yes, first Johns, let's hear from you for the bowlers.
I think Luke would be a straightforward pick, and
Hmm.
Joshua Little has been in bit off color in recent times, even though he has been bit inconsistent compared to last season. Last season, whenever he played for Ireland or different T20 leagues, he performed really well. But in this season, even if you look at the international numbers as well, he used to go for runs, especially after that injury gap he had. Soon after the IPL, he was one of the net bowlers in IPL for CSK. Then he had some slight injury worries that has picked him so badly as well compared to last season. So I believe it will be 50-50 called how we can pick Joshua Little or a
Hmm.
all-rounder in this choice.
Right, that's
Yeah,
a good insight on his bowling patterns in the last few weeks. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. But
yeah.
one factor that we are keeping in
Interesting.
mind for now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
go ahead,
Dylan,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Okay, see, that's how courteous we are in terms of we wait for the other to go first. Yes, I think interesting point there from John's regarding consistency. Maybe you can take a risk on Josh if he's bowling second. If you feel that
Hmm.
he'll not come off, like, because while bowling first, he picked up a fifer, I think, and then he got 2 wickets yesterday. So I think bowling first, it might be a safer option to go with him. Bowling second, you could definitely try out Sam Cook as well. He's
Hmm.
had decent time in the 100, and he bowls key overs again. So someone like a Sam Cook will also make a good point of difference, because everybody's set team will be all rounders and batters. So your differential picks will be whether you go with someone like a Gleason, who did not take a wicket yesterday, but while bowling first, if there is some help, even if there is like good enough bounce on the surface, both Sam Cook and Richard Gleason can do some good damage. Now, Luke Wood went wicketless, I think, the last time these two sides faced. So that's an interesting angle to try out, that maybe you drop Luke Wood and you take Samuel Cook for Luke Wood and adjust an all-rounder like that. So there will be plenty of options. So again, like we keep saying, best to play these leagues on Fan2Play's mini GLs and multi winner contest, so that you're not taking undue risk.
Right, absolutely. So for now, keeping in account that most of these bowlers have been in good form, except for Gleason, who's coming back from injury, we have slotted in all the bowlers. Now, based on whoever is bowling first or bowling second, we will slot out one of these bowlers. That final update I'll give on the Telegram channel. But for now, we're slotted in four bowlers, and we'll probably slot one of them out for someone like Stubbs or an extra Manchester batter based on the toss and the conditions.
Yes, I think more in head-to-head, Phil Salt has also done well. But again, he's a common pick. Parkinson can have a day, but
Hmm.
London is a venue where all season I've backed spinners to come good, but they did not. The one game I didn't back them to come good, and they took 8 between them. So yes, it will be fitting if we have a Jai Mata at the end to the
Jai
league.
Mata, the tournament, that is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And captaincy, vice captaincy, again, I feel like one of Walter or Sam's is good captaincy choices. They're bowling first, not necessarily because of form or accuracy, but because it's just that they somehow managed to get wickets while bowling first, especially at the death. Any punt, vice captaincy choices from either of you?
Yeah, let's have
I
John's
think
first. Yeah.
I will go with Luke Wood. That will be ideal. I would believe, especially a left-arm pacer, he might get few wickets today, especially in a big game and 20 ball. And I believe he can get 2 or 3 wickets today, and he can be a game changer as well, especially playing in Lords. So I believe Lockwood would be one of the captaincy or vice captaincy choices.
Right. And Nikhil bhai, anything from you in that regard?
Yeah, I think, see, like we've often discussed right through the tournaments, Sam's Walter will definitely be the most common picks that people will take. Alex Hales will also be common. David Malan will also be, you'll find in many teams. So that's where you have to take a call on the all-rounder bit, because Walter has still found a way to continue to take wickets, and you have no particular clue as to why in particular, because yes, he's bowled key overs, but he's also broken partnerships. So the usage becomes very important. Sam's, I think, had a very great start, and then he's gone off the boil a bit. So if you feel Sam's is bowling second, then you can switch around. And in that case, then you could go with Little as well if you want while bowling first. Again, we are talking differential options here. So Joshua Little, Richard Gleeson, any pacer, like John said, look good, any pacer who you think will make a difference, go ahead and back him. This tournament is always favored people who are backing their own visualization, no matter what the data or logic says. So I'll say continue to do that. And yes, make multiple teams join the leaderboard contest. And yes, I think we have discussed enough options from the bowling. From the batting, if you want, you can take very big punts with Laurie Evans, Colin Munro. You could even go proper Jayamada with Lewis Gregory if he's bowling first. He has history of when he comes on and bowls some handy overs, he comes up and takes 2-3 wickets just out of nowhere. So again, but these are very, very differential and high risk, high reward kind of picks.
Right, fair enough. So that rounds up the team discussion from our end. And one observation from me that both Nikhil bhai and Johns are focusing on. Nikhil bhai is focused a lot on Gleeson and Johns on Luke Wood. So these might be two players that you guys want to watch out for today. And before we guys close the discussion, we'd love to take your questions, so you can put them in the comment section. And the leaderboard contest is ready for you. This is the last game, so ensure you join this leaderboard contest. It's not going to come back, so you better get that booster right up in this last game. And we hope you have a good game. And if you guys have any questions, we are happy to answer them before we close this discussion.
Yes.
And there's another birthday, Sterling and Hemraj. So if there are any viewers who are here for the CPL and are setting up their teams for that, we are happy for you to also take this feedback from Piyush bhai. It's surely one of these two are very likely to work. Both are going to be either openers or be batting in the top order.
Yes. I'm going to take a risk, trust Piyush bhai and go full Jai Mata Di in CPL. No problem at all. I can trust him in that.
Absolutely. So I guess we are good then. Not too many questions. Everybody is awaiting the CPL deadline, so we'll head to that. Thank you so much, Nikhil bhai and Johns, for tuning in. Some very useful insights from both of you, and I hope we can do this soon again.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Yes. Always glad to do more cricket collaboration so that we talk more sense.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much to the both of you.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good game.